Hello, sippers. I'm Demetrius.
I'm Renee.
And I'm Martia.
And this is Sipping on Wine, a true crime podcast, and more. Let's get it,
Coming to
ladies.
you live and loud and in color.
Woo, woo.
Yes, we are here.
Hey, ladies. Hey, sippers.
Hey, guys. How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
I'm great.
Oh, cool. Me too. It looks like we're all doing dandy today.
That's right. On this True Crime Tuesday.
Yes.
All right, ladies, I'm going to drop our drink of the week. And our sippy sip for this week is called Vodka Watermelon Cooler.
Okay, the sippy sip. I like that.
With the sippy sip for the week. Well, we'll post all the ingredients on our social media Instagram page. It may be on Facebook, but Instagram is our go-to. And please tag us if you try it,
tag
or
us,
if you add it to your list of cocktails.
We'd like to see those pictures, and we'll put it on our page too.
Tag.
We like the support.
So, ladies, before we go any further, I want to give our sippers a disclaimer. Some of the material contained in today's episode may be unsuitable or triggering for most listeners. Discretion is always advised by us, okay? We always say,
nice of you to do that.
Travel light.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a private conversation some days ago with someone close to me who was recently stalked, and it's still trying to heal from the situation. And this person suggested that I make the next episode that I do about stalking.
So I hope your friend is okay, and hopefully that resolves itself.
Still healing.
Me too. Prayers up.
Gosh.
Yeah. Finances, everything, y'all. It was an emotional roller coaster. So with that being said, here we go.
Okay. And I guess, I don't know if it's appropriate. But what I would say is, to your friend.
Yeah.
Plot and plan.
That'd be appropriate.
So that you don't get caught.
Yes.
If something
plot. Yeah. I already suggested.
That's scary. Man.
Yeah. Today's episode, ladies, is going to take us to London, United Kingdom of 2003. This case is of Clare Bernal. She was a beauty consultant at Harvey Nichols in Knightsbridge, who was murdered by her stalker.
Gosh.
In the year of 2003, Clare Bernal had just completed beauty consultancy and theater makeup courses in Kent. She was a skincare expert and loved her job, so much so that Clare wanted to work in a large department store where she felt she would make a good fit for the La Pierre beauty counter at Harvey Nichols. She wrote the company directly, outlining why she loved the brand, and got an interview. She traveled from Kent to London for the interview, and she got the job. In November 2004, Clare made a life-changing decision and decided to live in London. She moved into a flat. Now, I had to look that up. Y'all know I'm not familiar with all the terms, the UK use and we use, but the flat is like an apartment. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. She moved into a flat with 2 female roommates. Her life was going as planned. She was very excited about her new living space and career. While working one day, Clare was approached by one of the department's security guards. He introduced himself as Michael Pech. Here's what I know of Michael Pech. He was a former soldier from Slovakia. He worked as an American embassy in Bratislava.
Bratislava.
Y'all can tear me up with that, but that's what I'm saying. And moved to London in 2003 on a student visa. While Michael was in London, Slovakia joined the EU, which is the European Union. That instantly gave Pech the freedom to live and work in London. Traveling as he pleases with no restrictions. While living in London, Pech got a job as a security guard in Harvey Nichols in 2004. Also, I found out that Pech was going through a divorce when he met Clare. So knowing that, let's dive back into the story. Michael had always complimented Clare on her looks and her personality. He became head over heels for Clare, and the two began seeing each other outside of work. But Clare was not feeling the same as Michael. She was only flattered and saw their relationship as nothing serious. But soon the attention he was giving her was becoming overbearing. After only 3 dates, he told Clare he loved her and wanted to be with her everywhere she went. Pech didn't want Clare to be alone with her friends at all or hang out with family. just giving all kind of red flags. And seeing his behavior, Claire wanted out of the relationship after only dating for 3 weeks. Now you know that's serious if you're leaving somebody after 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. Like, what did he do in 3 weeks?
Right.
Ooh.
So one evening, Michael returns home from a trip and convinced Claire that he has to stay at her place because he had a large suitcase and didn't want to lug it around so late at night. She was a little reluctant, but allowed him to stay over. The next morning, Claire drives Michael to catch his train to go home, but he refuses to leave and board the train. She tells him to do what he wants and proceeds to leave. But before leaving, Claire turns to Michael and tells him that their relationship is over. So Pech begins calling Claire 20 times throughout the day, but she refuses to answer his call. So Pech decided, y'all, to sit outside of her flat for 2 hours straight. Seeing him outside, Claire and her 2 roommates tell Michael he has to leave repeatedly. This is when Michael takes his stalking to another level. He begins to follow her to and from work. Being the security guard at her job, he begins to follow her and watch her while she's working, monitoring her every move. So fast forward, now in February 2005, Pech decides to follow Claire after work on her way home. He runs up and grabs Claire by the shoulder and tells her that he loves her. And he knows she loves him too. She tells him, no, I don't.
So she quickly told him no in the beginning.
Yep.
Even like a relationship or anything. Though.
Right. But then he tells her, saying, yes, you do, you stupid little girl. Okay, so when we start resulting to names.
Wow.
So it is said that Claire didn't report any of his odd behavior because she was embarrassed. She felt that reporting it because he hadn't physically assaulted her, she would be wasting the police time. So she only tells her mother and cousin what was happening between her and Michael. In a documentary that I watched, Clare Bernal, who is Claire's mother, stated that Claire was losing sleep and even developed eye infections because of it. She was also getting in trouble at work for her poor work performance from being so tired, and Claire was constantly watching her surroundings. So meanwhile, Pech was ramping up his stalking. He manages to call and text her 50 times a day.
Dang.
Do y'all get that many?
Can you imagine how, I mean, that is a lot if you really think about that.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Call and text 50 times a day.
I mean, somebody does that like 2 or 3 times. You're like, gosh,
right.
What do you want?
Right.
But after like 3 calls or 3 or 4 calls, you think that's excessive. But 50? Oof.
After only 3 dates, this man was following her everywhere. Michael called Claire all day and all night constantly, explaining how much he loved her. And some of his messages that he sent would sound as if the pair was still in a relationship. He also texts Claire, I will kill myself if we are not together. And if I can't have you, no one will. Now, there go your flags. The flags are just popping up, right?
That tells you right there.
So
he
one
became
night,
really obsessive, like really quickly, it seems
exactly.
Exactly.
After only 3 days.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
Okay. That totaled of a 3-week period. And she was like, I got to let you go.
Yeah.
Crazy. So one night heading home from work, while at the train station walking down the platform, she spots Pech and starts running. Claire tried to run away from him, but he chased her down and pushed her to the ground. She tells him, if you don't leave me alone, I will be forced to report you. He told her, if you do, I will kill you. So listen, y'all, everyone that uses those words, I will kill you, aren't always crying wolf. Just take note of that, okay?
Yeah.
Some people do act.
You got one time to say that to me where I'm just starting to plot and think of, different scenarios,
Right.
Like what could happen. Oof.
Exactly. So once again, Claire still didn't want to report Pech because she was embarrassed. It was her friends who reported Michael Pech to their boss at Harvey Nichols. They moved Pech to another department of the store, but he still stalks her. The head of security was told all that was happening. He set up cameras to monitor Claire and Michael. He could clearly see that Michael was harassing Claire. So he decided to suspend Michael Pech because they legally couldn't do anything because she didn't report it to the police.
Well, that's good. So they at least did that. They did something, and not just let it continue on. I mean, even though they couldn't do but so much, but I mean, suspending him was a good start, I guess.
Because you don't have to look at him every day at work. They convinced Claire also to report it to the police. Once she reports it, she tells them he has threatened to kill her. The police advised her to change her phone number and relocate. They also devised a plan. Pech is called into work and immediately he is arrested and charged. He is told by police to stay away from Claire and to have absolutely no contact. But he is soon released and back stalking Claire at her new place. So you found out where she relocated to.
Wow. So she did take the steps, you know, like
He was arrested, but he
relocated
was
and everything.
but he got released and started back stalking.
Wow.
Right. So on April 4th, 2005, the police immediately began searching for him because Claire reported him for stalking. The police find Pesh and arrest him, but he is released again on bail, and this time he was awaiting trial. The calls and texts suddenly stopped after weeks of torment. No one had seen or heard from Michael Pech. July 5th, 2005, it is now Claire's birthday. Her mother decides to take her daughter away from all the stress and give her some normalcy. The pair go on a much-needed girls' trip. The two enjoy their getaway. Meanwhile, Pech is back in Slovakia at a shooting range. He takes firearm training and purchased a gun. This military soldier was able to pass security and border controls with a handgun.
What? They didn't?
Yeah.
What?
Mm-mm.
So he went through border control and they didn't even notice he had a...
Nope, he didn't
with
get
him?
checked or anything.
Oh, gosh.
So on August 31st, 2005, Michael Pech was due to stand trial. Claire was asked by the courts to drop the charges of kill threats because it would be hard to prove that in court. Michael pled guilty and there would be no trial, but he has a pending sentence. And this allowed him to walk free. Y'all, he done been arrested how many times and walk free?
Wow, terrible.
Okay, so once again, this man has been threatening Claire for months, weeks, and days. He is arrested not once, but twice and released. He leaves the country, purchases a handgun, and goes to trial, but pleads guilty and is released to wait his sentencing. So on September 13th, 2005, just a little before 8 p.m., Claire's shift was due to be over. So her and a few co-workers were watching the clock and preparing to leave. We all know that feeling of being ready to go.
Yep.
Okay, because I did that today. The security team were all told to be on the lookout and watch out for Michael Pech. It was one of her co-workers that spotted a shadow passing by her and seeing him walk up behind Claire. She thought it was a boyfriend meeting Claire after work, but it was Michael Pech. Noted to be high on cocaine, Pech, age 30, shoots Clare Bernal, age 22, once in the back of the head.
Oh my God.
She falls to the floor and he shoots her 3 more times in the face.
Oh my goodness, that's so sad.
She was
Now
like
check.
22?
Yep, and he was 30 at this time. So he shoots off a round at the ceiling and Pech turns the gun on himself.
He should have did that first. I hate when people do that. That really irks me.
Right.
Just like, just do you. Just do you.
That threat of I will kill you. Oh my God, he took his words to the max. So almost a whole year after Michael initially introduced himself to her, he kills her. He stalked Claire for almost a year. He promised her if he couldn't have her, then no one would. This man was just pure evil. Shortly after Claire's death, her mother, Trisha Bernal, started to review other cases of stalking and campaigning for families who lost a loved one to stalking. Trisha Bernal teamed up with Laura Richards and both co-founded an organization called Protection Against Stalking. They lobbied to the prime minister at that time for the stalking laws to be changed, and it worked because their voices were heard. The law was changed. Stalking would now become a criminal offense. There was also a helpline created for victims of stalking, and Laura Richards called stalking a slow murder. Now that was deep.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
I've never even heard that term. That is deep. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. She said she called stalking just a slow murder. So for a whole year, he took away her 20s. Like, you just took away her whole life because you loved her and she didn't love you back. So if anybody needs help, please call the hotlines. Please. I don't know all the information, but I will try to post that on our Instagram for like hotlines, if we have any here in the US for stalking. But I know this case is from the UK. So at least her mom, got a new law put in place. If that would have been in place, then he would have been locked up and not released multiple times.
Right.
and able to find her new location. The
I
police
wonder
tell her
how
to
he was able to find her though.
you know, I was wondering if he was following her from work and she just didn't see it, being that he was with security. So that was
Because
just
what year was this again? You said 2003?
2005
Oh,
when
2005.
he murdered her. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, I was wondering, did he look her up on the internet? But I don't know what we were doing in 2005 to find people. Because I was
Yeah.
wondering the same thing, Renee. Like, how did he find her?
Yeah.
Right.
I was thinking maybe he followed her from work. I know they moved him to a different department during that time. But then also they let him go. So it's still, I mean, I guess he could still meet her. He knew what time she got off every day and what time she went to work. So I guess, following her to her new location. That's scary, man. You never know who's watching. Or who you tell no, thank you. I don't want to give my number. Also, when I was researching this and just that topic in general, it was stated that more and more men during the pandemic were stalked. Y'all knew that?
Really?
And this one guy read his comment and he was like, he is stalked by his ex to the point where she ran him off the road.
What?
You don't think of men. I mean, I guess I don't know. I just never, I know it can happen and there are scenarios, but you just don't commonly think men being stalked. Yeah, so it's a lot of information out there with them, but they said most men don't want to report it because they don't want to be embarrassed or feel weak.
I mean, I guess it goes to the same of, domestic violence and that as well. How they don't report it as much. But
So it was saying it's like really underreported because a lot of men don't want to seem, appear weak or be embarrassed that a woman is, making them feel less than. If you are a male and you hear this, report her because she cray.
Yeah.
She need to be locked up and off the street so she don't go do it to the next one.
Because a woman can be just as dangerous as a man.
Right. That's the case of Clare Bernal. And I'm glad that her mom, got a new stalking law put in place. So it ended on a bad but kind of a positive note. So
that's true. Something good, came out of that, I guess. If you want to say something good, but she lost her life, but hopefully it saves a whole lot of other victims.
Exactly.
Victims in the future from having to deal with what she had to deal with.
All right. Well, we're gonna close the book on this true crime. Yes.
It just makes me mad.
Yeah.
And then you kill yourself so that now no one can even do anything to you. It's just, you just kind of,
That's just like when we do our true crime. You're like, did he what? He killed himself.
Right.
So you just got out of it. You didn't want to serve time, really?
Right. You do all this, but then you get to be your own jury and decide what happens to you.
And nothing is worth that though. That's what's so crazy. Like you took her out and you killed yourself, and for what? A 3-week long relationship of what?
Right.
3 weeks.
Give up your whole life for this.
Yes, 3 weeks. Let it go. She let you go. She nicely told you. Right. I don't want this.
People out there in the world, gosh,
stalking is real. But when you hear, men are out there being stalked too,
frightening. Yeah, just can't even imagine how scary that can be.
Right.
I've never been stalked before. Knock on wood. Hopefully, I never ever am. But just the thought of that, like somebody's always following you, or is always gonna, wherever you go, daytime, nighttime, whatever, you just look over your shoulder and they just can be just standing there.
Right. Or leaving you notes randomly.
Yeah.
Like, who left this
and
note?
You're just wondering, like, how did you get there? How did you find, and how long have you been there? It's scary. So again, I'm gonna hope for the best for your friend as well, Demetrius.
Thank you. Okay, sippers. We're gonna move into what we call missing person. And I decided to do one because I've never done one.
Really?
Yeah, I never done one. So I thought I would model myself after you ladies.
Okay.
Let's find these missing people. Let's get the word out. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's led by Martia, so
she took the charge on this one. I love it.
Yeah. Thanks, ladies.
Yes. So at this time, we would like to highlight a missing persons case. This week's missing person is 17-year-old Zion Foster. She has been missing since January 4th, 2022 of this year. She was last seen at her home in Melrose Court of East Point, Michigan. Zion is described as 5'2", weighing at 120 pounds. She is African American. She has shoulder-length hair and brown eyes. She was wearing a Detroit Wing Company uniform when she was last seen. Anyone with information about Zion's whereabouts is asked to call East Point Police at 586-445-5100. And I'll post a little bit more information on her.
Hope that she gets home safely.
Yes.
That's new. That was actually.
Yeah, that was just January. That's so sad. So I'll give more information on our Instagram post with her. But ladies, I want to share something else while I was researching. Y'all know I'm nosy. I be dipping and diving, okay? So I came across an article on the MichiganChronicle.com. In the article, it stated that Minnesota is the first state to build a task force for missing and murdered Black girls. They are searching for those who they are searching for those who are often overlooked by society. The task force was approved in February of 2021. The bill was signed into law back in September of 2021. And I never heard of this till I started digging, but that's very, very good.
And what's it called again?
It really is.
Yeah. What's it called? The what?
It didn't have a name, but it just said it was the first state to build a task force for missing and murdered Black girls.
Okay.
And I'm hearing that, when I was looking up stuff, Michigan has like almost top number one for Black and brown girls being missing.
What? Really? I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Michigan.
Yeah.
What's going on up there?
This is for Minnesota, but I'm not familiar with that state. I need to look more into Minnesota because this task force is for Minnesota, but
Minnesota. I thought you said Michigan.
But Michigan does have Michigan does have the highest.
Oh, you're
for Black and brown.
The task force. So the task force is
Minnesota.
In Minnesota, it's for Minnesota.
Okay.
So I need to look into Minnesota too because I don't know nothing about Minnesota or Michigan.
So the task force is in Minnesota.
They started that. What's Minnesota? Is that like? I don't know. We got some brown people.
That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to say it. So that's why I'm glad.
So I
was thinking.
I didn't dive into that because it did dawn on me, but I was just excited. I was like, yes, Minnesota.
I mean, our girl Ray is from Minnesota, so
yeah, I need to look into that.
And I think she usually was the only one for the most part.
Okay.
Hey, if you're listening.
Okay. So yeah, I need to dig and dive a little deeper. But as I was coming across this article, that's where I got that from. The Michigan Chronicle posted that.
Hopefully there's more people that follow their lead and more task force for missing,
and murdered Black girls. Yeah. So you just never hear that. So I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I'll also make a post for that if anybody's interested in that article or kind of share a little information on that. So yeah, let's look for these young women and young girls that are missing. It's just amazing how many people go missing every day.
Right.
It is. And with all this technology, I'm just still sitting up here like, how can you lose track of people nowadays? It's still happening. We got street cameras. We got cameras.
You got
on the
cameras
expressway.
everywhere.
You got people's phone. It's basically a tracker. But if it dies, you can't do anything with it, I guess. I mean, how?
Yeah,
that part is sad.
The statistic on when you leave your house, you're filmed. I forgot how many number of times, but several, times that you're filmed within. Like go to the store and come back home, because you got your neighbors' cameras. You got probably your own camera. You got the camera at the grocery store. You got the red light camera. Like all kind of stuff is like.
I didn't even think of that.
Like it's so much out there that's being filmed. It's like, how do people miss it? How did you miss that moment? Where all these people are getting snatched or whatever.
Yeah, and people in neighborhoods, I wish they would just speak up too, because I was reading like short articles. Folk go, well, I saw her last over here, and I saw her last. So did you really see her, or you just want to be a part of the
just want to
search?
Say something?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's another thing that helped mislead, detectives on finding these women.
Yeah, but I hope over time that we will get cameras everywhere. Like that's just a thing. Like there's a camera on like every,
and they're used for good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
and
just
how about I thought it was like at the lights. I thought it was on the expressway. But yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying more, but it is a lot of them out there though.
But I just wish it was like everywhere. Like I hope it's like everywhere. You know, like I know
Right.
people are talking about their
Mhm.
privacy and all that, but I'm just like, I mean, what are you really doing? And who
Yeah,
really cares? You know,
especially the way crime is going up and so
yeah,
many kids are
like
missing.
everything should be
The
recorded.
Amber Alerts. Yeah,
Hmm.
so that was our missing person for this week, and we
Okay.
will post it all on Instagram. All right, sippers, we're gonna move into our last segment of this episode. It's called Take Another Sip.
Oh, girl, what are we taking another sip on?
Ooh.
You have some doozies for
Let
us,
me
though,
go
I
ahead
tell
and
you.
take my sip now
Right?
before you even get started.
Right? Oh my gosh. My sip. Wait a minute.
Okay. So Take Another Sip is where we discuss something that really caught us off guard, surprised us. Maybe it made us mad, or maybe it made us laugh. But either way, it made us want to do what?
Take
Take
another
another
sip.
sip.
Woo, woo.
Ow.
Yes. Okay, ladies. So this Take Another Sip is a case that happened back in 2020. I try to stay current with these episodes, but it was recently published on MSN.com and the news outlet of called Independent. So a TikTok star's father guns down obsessed stalker during home invasion.
Wait a minute. Wait. Say that one again. Okay.
A TikTok star's father guns down obsessed stalker during home invasion.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And the
man.
person is the stalker over the TikTok star, which is like the
Yes. Her name is Ava Marjorie. Now she's 15, a TikTok star with more than 1 million followers. So one of the followers, an individual using the name Eric Justin 11, whose real name is Eric Rohan Justin, age 18, became dangerously obsessed with her. Justin began interacting with Miss Marjorie in 2020, sending her Snapchat and Instagram messages and joining online video games where she was playing with her brothers. Over time, Justin's obsession with the girl became worrying. She learned that her hometown friends in Naples, Florida, were selling this man photos of her and other information, including her cell phone number.
What?
Okay.
Wow.
So you were selling your friends and from personal information on to a complete stranger.
Wow.
Yes. So Justin began calling and texting her and even agreed to do one of her classmates' homework in exchange for information about Miss Marjorie. Eventually, Justin asked Ava if she would sell him a selfie. She consulted with her parents and they allowed her to do so, noting that the photos were already available online. Ava never sent any photos of her body, she claims, only of her face. The pair agreed to a price, and Ava sold Justin 2 photos for around $300.
What? But these are photos that were already available online.
Yes. So she sold him 2 photos for around $300. After that exchange, things began to take an uncomfortable turn for the teen. Justin began asking her to send booty pics, shots of her feet, and she said he wanted stuff that a 14-year-old should not be sending, especially to an adult. You're 18, you're an adult. What are you doing? So Ava blocked Justin on all of her accounts. He responded desperately, pleading with her to unblock him, even sending her over $500 along with the message, sorry, this is all I have left. I'm broke. So now you're sending her $500 to say unblock me.
Yeah.
So Miss Ava's father then texted
How was he able to send it to her though?
I don't know, because she had him blocked, but maybe he used a different name, maybe.
But how can you just
And maybe he created another account. That's what I was thinking, and sent her that message.
Man.
Yes.
I just wonder how he got the money to her.
Well,
right.
I don't know how TikTok does it, y'all. I really need to look into that.
Because you can't send money through TikTok, can you? I mean, I
don't know, because how would she?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Not unless she has an account set up. Because if she's selling him 2 photos for $300, there's some kind of account she must have set up. And he can send a message. Like how you can on Cash App or something, maybe.
Well,
maybe she has something.
Money, yeah,
right.
Probably. Yeah.
Miss Ava's father then texted Justin, telling him that his daughter was a minor and demanding that the 18-year-old stop texting. The demand did not deter Justin at all. He contacted one of her classmates and asked if he had access to a gun
Oh
and
my gosh.
shared his plans to assault her. Justin said he thought he could just breach the door with a shotgun. That's when Miss Ava found out about the messages. She reached out to her classmate who confirmed that the conversation happened.
So
Y'all.
they knew that he had a gun and he was gonna try to assault her. This was already known.
Yeah, she
Okay.
called the friend and was like, "Hey, is that
Hmm.
true? That's what he trying to do?" And the friend confirmed it. Okay, so Mr. Marjorie tried to reassure his daughter that Justin was just one of these keyboard cowboys, noting that he lived 100 miles away. But he underestimated Justin's obsession. On July 10th, 2020, Justin arrived at Ava's home, entered, and blew a hole in her bedroom door with
Oh
a
my
shotgun.
gosh.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Yes,
He got into her house and got to her bedroom door.
yes,
Which one was her door? Like, what
right.
the hell?
She told the Times, all I remember was I heard it, I felt it in my chest, and I looked up and there was a hole in my door from the fragments.
Oh my gosh.
So she fled from her room to a connecting bathroom into her brother's room. Her father heard the blast and left his bedroom, running into the hallway to help his children while his wife called 911. When he arrived at his daughter's room, he saw Justin dressed in safety glasses, an orange Walmart worker's vest,
Oh my gosh.
and protective earplugs. Justin ran to escape Mr. Marjorie in pursuit. Before he could catch Justin, he hit his knee, cutting it open, allowing Justin to escape the house. At that point, Mr. Marjorie armed himself with a personal handgun and stood at the house front door waiting for the police to arrive. Meanwhile, Ava was huddled inside the house with her family. Her brother, Evan, furious that they were under assault because a man had become obsessed with the videos of his sister singing and dancing, turned to Ava and said, "This is all your fault." Back at the front door, Mr. Marjorie waited with his firearm. The police had yet to arrive when Justin returned with his shotgun. Mr. Marjorie reportedly told the man to drop his weapon, but Justin refused and aimed his shotgun. So that's when he shot and killed the teenager.
Okay.
When police searched Justin's body, they found he was carrying 2 cell phones. Each were filled with thousands of pictures of Ava and hundreds of hours of her videos.
What? Oh my goodness.
The family was eventually asked by their homeowners association, as her daughter's social media presence was the catalyst for a deadly encounter in the neighborhood, to leave the neighborhood. It was like,
Do
y'all
they
gotta
have the
go.
right to do that? I know HOAs are powerful, but can they tell you that? I mean, I'm generally I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I know they have a lot of power, but can they ask you to leave?
They asked them to leave.
Like, do you have to leave? Is my question, I guess.
I don't know. I guess if you just want to be nice and courteous to them about the safety.
I mean, as a neighbor, if I was a neighbor, I would go along with that too. Be like, y'all got to get the hell up out of here with that.
Right.
But if for them, I don't know if they have to go or not,
But check this out. While the threat Justin posed is no longer present, others continue to plague the family. A registered sex offender contacted Ava Marjorie, offering her $1,000 a month for her phone number and calling her baby girl. The male student who Justin contacted also allegedly has been following Ava as well, around and watching her. Another classmate sent Ava a video of the student who made that he made it himself firing a gun at a shooting range. So Miss Ava eventually left public school and is now being homeschooled. And despite all of the danger, threats, and negative attention she has received, Ava Marjorie remains on TikTok, a decision her parents support. Her decision. This is where I'm finna get y'all in opinion.
Girl,
so
you had me on the corner. I was just like, well, fine. Okay, he killed us. Okay, that's what he
right.
Okay, but now I'm just okay.
Yes. So her decision to remain on TikTok is only for the fans, she says. But she said the money is a good reason too, and also meeting new people and traveling. So what's y'all opinion? Should she just leave TikTok altogether? Because I mean, you got sex offenders contacting you, friends that you went to school with stalking you.
It's almost like telling a celebrity to stop being a celebrity
Right.
because something happened to
Right.
them. So she
Right.
probably just figures, I'm just gonna take whatever comes with the territory of being in this public space.
Yes, with 1 million followers.
I didn't even hear this
And that's
story.
her
That is
bread and butter
crazy
too.
though.
Yeah, I didn't hear this
Yeah.
story either. And that's her
Yeah.
bread and butter. Cause like in my mind, I can't really say that I would walk away, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm so scary. I feel like I
I
probably
mean,
would think about
yeah.
it. But with
Right.
her having 1 million followers and that's her bread and butter, it's probably just not
But it
that
ain't like
easy
she
for her to
got
do
kids
that.
in a household to take care of either. So I'd
But
be
we
like,
don't,
look,
yeah.
look,
I
Wow.
whatever your name, like
And
that's
I mean, with 1
crazy.
million followers, that's kind of hard to block people making comments or your inbox being
Yeah.
flooded with threats. I know it's got to be hard to like.
I mean, I would think that was a deterrent. Like for one, that the 18-year-old lost his life. Yeah, like people would not mess with her like that, but I guess not. And oh, that's scary. Like I mean,
A
even just the thought of
TikTok
that,
celebrity.
somebody being in my house and then they,
Yeah.
shot a
Right.
hole in my bedroom door. That would be enough for
Okay.
me to get the hell off. Just to be like, f this. Like what? But I mean, that's me and my old lady talking. So I mean, the mind of
Yeah.
what,
But
15 years
as
old,
I was
whatever.
reading, like later in the article, at the end of the article, the dad said that he just wanted to support her decision to stay on because
Oh
that's
my gosh.
how she's better to cope with it, making other people smile and laugh. And she's
How about her
dancing.
brother? Does it say about what he?
No, there's no update except for when he was ticked off, hey, this is because of you.
Yeah.
Like it has to be like frightening for him, being young, I guess. I'm gonna take it that he's younger. Yeah. And the dad will never face charges, y'all know, because he is protected under the Florida's law, stand your ground. So but that is crazy.
Yeah, that
This
is.
is
What
our
would you do,
episode of
Demetrius?
stalking. I don't know. I mean, I understand the money aspect, and if that's your happy place, I don't know. I guess I will let her continue, but don't.
Really?
You got to let your friends go. Don't tell them where we moved to. Don't give it. I mean, now you got to cut people off because I mean, somebody told her information was selling and was making money off of it.
And to say that was her friend, I feel like that word is being thrown around a little too loose here.
Yeah,
Because
like
your friend would
classmate.
never do
Yeah,
you like that.
yeah. Friends were selling her information. That is.
Yeah. But I mean, friends
That,
at 15, 14,
yeah.
15, whatever, how old they are, I guess that's, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they knew that would come to it. It's still
Right.
crazy and irresponsible, but, oh my gosh. It's just,
Right.
that's so scary though. It is so scary.
It
Because people
is.
can find you anywhere.
I remember back in the day when paparazzi used to flag down celebrities and follow their every move. Now celebrities just tell you where they at. Hi, I'm at the.
Tagging.
So I was like, wow, look, yeah. So I was like, dude, you're doing just as bad as the paparazzi did years ago.
Yeah.
When they used to run down Britney Spears and run down the Hiltons. And
that was crazy.
so now you're just telling them, hey, I'm at this gala. This is what I'm looking like. Like now you're giving away free and in their homes.
I know,
that
right?
used to be like
they see your home, your layout.
Yeah,
you know where your
used
bedroom is because I'm sure that you probably had a video of you in your
right.
bedroom or where
Or
right
you
outside
going
your bedroom or like where
or you're
the
showing
layout.
as you walk down to the kitchen. You're showing the outside of your home. Celebrities do the same thing. I'm like, dude, you showing your whole bedroom. I remember that used to be like we had to watch MTV Cribs.
Like
I don't know how.
Exactly.
And the thing with that is if she's making a lot of money off of this, they better hire them some security. Like a 24/7 bodyguard security that sits outside the house. You better have gated fence.
I didn't,
I
didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
How much are you making? So if you're making that much, you better have you a guard outside or
with $1 million followers. I'm pretty sure you have
live in a gated community.
Some coming in, right?
A double gated community, or or something like that, or okay, you can still do it. But
I didn't
put
even
that money
think
towards
that.
this safety.
And now she's being homeschooled, so. But I didn't even think about the security, right?
Yeah, because you know
some people
in any house, like
or out in public, be careful. You at the grocery store, you don't know who knows you there. 15 and somebody's thinking to harass you and come to your home.
Yeah, and an 18-year-old at that, like, dude, you knew better. You old enough to know, but and just like I don't know. I guess these people get into their fantasy land and they get so much access to these people. They feel that they know them and they, are one with them.
Exactly.
Oof, that's so scary. Well,
Yeah,
I hope that
scary.
nobody else does this to her.
Yeah.
Or continue on what she's doing.
Protect her dad and mom, since y'all are allowing
Thank goodness
and supporting
he was there.
her.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
So that was good too. I was like, you know what? Some people don't have a gun in their home.
Right. Exactly. That's true.
Get that. Oof.
Okay, ladies, this is going to conclude this week's episode.
Well, this was a great episode all on protecting yourself. And, hopefully we can find some information that we can post on our Instagram on.
Yes, please. Let's make all kind of posts because, women, we're so unprotected in so many aspects at work, especially that scenario where she was at work. You're at the gym, the store, you go to the dealership. You don't know if he taking your information down and can stalk you. Because I saw a story about that some years ago. This lady went
all
in.
Your information.
Yeah, you have everything. Your social, they have everything. You just don't even think of that because you're there to make a purchase.
Yeah.
That's, for yourself. And you don't think, hey, this person's going to misuse my information.
And I was going to say, I think all of us women at some point in time or another have had stories of people either harassing you. They get your number for business and reach out, and it's not about business, sexual harassment. Like we can just go through countless stories of things that we all can exchange stories about,
And we kind of blow it off a little bit,
sometimes.
Like,
exactly. Yeah. Cause it's almost like if we don't say anything, that's kind of probably what fuels some of the behavior out here, so yeah, it really is sad when these things turn into the tragic situations that we see and hear about on the news.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gents, protect yourself at all costs. Try to be aware of your surroundings. You can't protect yourself 24/7 because somebody's out there ahead of you 2 or 3 steps. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your connections, who you speak to, who you give your personal information to. You just never know.
Right.
And I want to thank you, ladies, for this wonderful episode. And
well, thank you for this.
All of the advice we're giving our sippers. Yes.
Right. Very informative
episode.
Yes. Well, sippers, we hate to leave.
Well, we gotta go. We can't stay here forever, y'all.
Can't stay.
Go at some point.
At some time.
All right. Bye,
bye,
sippers.
ladies. Bye, sippers.
Bye.